Paul, manic couple of days for you with the game on Saturday and the long journey down to Plymouth. How tricky is it getting everything done that you need to get done in this sort of 48-hour span?
Yeah, it's quick. I mean, Saturday, Tuesdays cause the coaches more problem than players, really. Players can just lounge around, turn up and wait for everything to be put out like magic tricks. So it's the staff rushing around behind the scenes, a bit like a duck over a lake or whatever. The legs are going like crazy under the water. So it's a bit like that at the moment. So yeah, a bit manic, but we'll have everything in place for the meeting in about half an hour and then train and then travel down.
How much focus is on the previous game? How much focus do you put on preparing for the next on a day like today?
It's probably about today, because of the turnaround and because of the messaging of the meeting today, it's probably about 25% on the game just gone, 75% on the next. However, obviously, if there wasn't a Tuesday game, it would all be 100% on Saturday's game. So, look, we need to get the messaging right about Saturday's game. I thought at times we're the best we've played. I thought we were outstanding. However, that 10-minute spell, we need to be better at. So there'll be a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, a little bit of feedback, and again, let them know how good, how close they are to being outstanding. But we're close, but not close enough. So playing against one of the best teams in the league tomorrow night, we need to be at our very best.
Will there be things from Saturday that you'll maybe keep in the back pocket and come back to when the schedule is a little bit less relentless on you?
I'd like to say yes, because that would be an intelligent answer. My honest answer would be no, because we do keep a database with our analysts going forward of our best examples. We don't keep our worst examples, if you know what I mean, but we do keep best examples. So, for example, if we're pressing against a back three, look, this is how we did it 3 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. This worked really well. But the messaging today will be positive, but also a couple of negatives. I won't hold them negatives because I want to enjoy my life. So there'll be more negatives from tomorrow night. There'll be negatives Saturday. Every single game, there isn't one faultless display ever. So you sort of show the lads the negatives and sort of say, look, we could have done better here. If our shape would have been better, if our fullback would have been more narrow when the ball went down the other side, it wouldn't have been a problem in the cross coming. And then, you show it to the lads, you talk to the lads about it a little bit, although they don't want to really talk to you about it in a group. They're happy individually, so I've got a couple of individual meetings after this. And then you just move on and hope they learn and improve and sometimes by osmosis get better.
Do you like to move on quickly from whatever the result was on the Saturday, win, lose or draw? Do you want to move on as soon as you can? Yeah,
well, personally I do, but professionally I do. I think that the lads need to see the good stuff from Saturday because they were outstanding. Apart from probably 3 attempts on goal, there isn't a lot of fault in our play. However, then the 3 attempts on goal could have a massive impact come Saturday. So you need that, come the end of the season, 2 points are massive. But you need the lads to realise that and the importance of that, but you don't want them to be obsessed with it that they get, so stiff in their shoulders when they play and get nervous. That's not what you want to do. You want the lads to be free, but also have a responsibility. And that's where the difficulty lies. It's an invisible line. It's the same with physicality. You want to push the lads. No one knows where the line of, break is. So it's a bit of everything. So I like to show them, but I like to move on. I like them to leave the meeting room today feeling really positive that we're a really good side. However, like every team has a weakness, and we need to address the weakness as much as our strengths.
We've talked before about how every game is a big game, but I know supporters are going to look at Tuesday night away at Plymouth and think big game. Big game.
I mean, in fairness, if we would have won Saturday, it's all ifs, buts and maybes, but if we would have won Saturday and we were to beat Plymouth Tuesday night, it's game on, isn't it, to try and challenge the top 3, let alone the top 2, it's game on. However, we didn't win Saturday, and if we don't win tomorrow night, the likelihood of us becoming in the top 2 is less and less likely. Not impossible, but less likely. You need a lot of things to go your way. So we do need a positive result, and I do understand why, as fixtures go, it's a big week. I know at the weekend, most of the top 4, I think, is Ipswich, Bolton playing each other, and it might be Barnsley, Plymouth, I don't know, something like that. Connotations at the weekend, there's a lot playing each other. So if you could win Tuesday night and you could win Saturday, which are 2 very difficult games, you could be sitting here this time next week in a really good position. However, coulda, shoulda, woulda. We need to turn the coulda, shouldas into we dids.
What's the scouting report on Plymouth?
Well, you'd be surprised to know. I'm going to tell you they're quite good for two reasons. Every team in the league are quite good at their best, and our job is to show the lads Plymouth at their best and at their most weak, if that makes sense. It's not very good English, but they play two different ways. The way we think they're going to play, but they have an ability to play out. They also have a willingness, more so as the season's gone on, to play direct. They're happy to go into Cosgrove, for example. It's a really good physical presence. They have midfielders that run. They're really aggressive with their wing backs. They want to pressure, as do we, and it's an open game. So, for example, when they played Peterborough a few weeks ago, it was open. It could have been 8-8, really. And both teams are going for the win, and I expect the same against us. They're brave at home, as are we brave away from home. So it'll be a real tough game. They have mobility in the middle of the pitch. They have, a really good age of players, a lot of good athletes, and some players I know of. So be a tough game, and they've been really good at home. I say this like I get things wrong. I apologise, but I think they've only lost to Port Vale at home in the league. They've beaten all the other top teams that have gone there, but all their games are really close. The way they play, they can score goals for fun, but they obviously concede them. But look, I'm not knocking them, because if I could win 3-2 every week, I'd take it. So I like the way they play, been together quite a while, got it sussed, and very, very difficult to play against, especially at their place.